How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to What's Your Drive. I'm your host, RodZ. We got a special guest today, Emir.
How's everybody doing?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking the time, to be here so everybody can know your story.
Of course, man. Always like participating in car-related activities and, anything with the community. Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's start off. What got you into cars?
The typical answer, man. Fast and the Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Like everybody. But it wasn't just that. So I have an older cousin, and he had a 240 S14.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and he was in love with that thing. And before the Fast and the Furious, that was my point of cars when I first, I started looking like, that looks interesting, and that's really where I got into it. And he started modifying. Back then, if parts are hard to get now, imagine back then, this was like early 2000s, so he was getting everything shipped from Japan. And he converted the S14 to a S15 front end.
That had to be
and
sick.
it was I wish I had a picture of it.
It was a lot cheaper then than
oh,
it is
absolutely.
now.
But I would just remember coming home and just parts everywhere, because back then, I used to the bus used to drop me off at my grandma's house, and he would stay with her, and just parts every other week, bro. Just laying in the living room waiting for them to be dropped on the car, and then that kind of piqued my interest right there. And then of course the movie came out, and it was just history after that. I just fell in love with it, and of course most guys, GTR.
Yeah, always. It would be nice to get like a 32. That's probably one of my favorites.
34.
34.
Typical GTR owner answer, but we're not there yet, but maybe one day.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living in order to afford like this hobby that we all enjoy?
So a lot of people don't realize that if you play your card right, you don't have to have a super, expensive living type situation. I work for an operation. Well, I do operations for a flooring company here in Charlotte, one of the biggest multifamily flooring companies, and I just run the operations for them. So basically operations manager, and my wife had a good job. She's a stay-at-home mom now, but we were just able to save up money and play our cards right, and here we are.
So like I was talking about this where one of my other friends is like, man, thinking about when I was, I don't know, early like 21. I'm 33 now. So like, when I first moved down here, like I had a job that paid like $9.50 an hour. I was still doing all my car stuff that I ever wanted to do, paying my bills and all that stuff. Obviously, I got a job now that make way more than that. So.
Same. So I used to work at a warehouse in Concord, the distribution center, Stanley Black & Decker, and right there, bro, it was maybe like, $7.50 an hour. Granted, back then we didn't have the cars we have now. But yeah, you're right. I was still able to modify my car, and like I was living, paying the bills. It was a lot harder, but we still got it done. I guess when you have a passion for something, you're gonna make it work.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
So, what sacrifices have you made in order to be where you are now?
It's been a struggle, man. It used to be before I met my wife, 3 jobs. Sometimes,
really?
Yeah, 3 jobs. And it was just paycheck to paycheck, and then finally something just clicks in you, bro. They're just like, I don't want to live like this anymore, and you got to take the opportunities. Yeah. So where I'm at now, my dad actually used to work for the company, and he kept asking me, come over here, come over here, come over here, and it took a minute, bro. But finally, on the 3rd time, I was like, all right, let's go see. Let's just see what happens. And I ended up going there after a year or so. I just started climbing the ladder, and
you let the work speak for itself.
Yeah.
At that point. That's pretty cool, man. Has your family and friends always supported you on the car hobby?
Oh, absolutely. Most of my friends and cousins, they were all in the same. We're all in the same age group. So, and we all grew up in the same place. Grandma used to take care of everybody. So we're all in that little.
Like the same little clique.
Everybody the same little clique, and everybody likes cars. And we got the same interests.
Yeah. And
family, the older family.
They'll be like, oh, you're wasting your time, you're wasting too much money.
Wasting too much money, you're crazy,
But then they see it when you put the vision together, and you're like, this is what I wanted to do. Look what the car looks like now.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, they've been pretty supportive.
That's pretty awesome, man. It's always hard to find, like, to grow up. Like me, for example, obviously I had cousins like that were into cars when I was growing up, but they were older. So, I mean, they would take me to car events here and there, but not like I grew up with them doing car stuff. So it was always like I had to find my own thing.
You just watched from afar.
Yeah, and like YouTube, whatever was out there, and stuff like that in order to learn. So, like for example, even the first, like My first manual car was my 350Z. I went to buy it and I didn't even know how to drive manual. I drove it almost all the way back from Atlanta.
Nice. Yeah, so my first manual car, even though the R35 is automatic, but I always wanted to learn stick. I'm sure most guys want that, especially in the younger years, was a 1994 Honda Accord.
Really?
LX beat up to the max. But I had a buddy in high school, and he was like, I'll teach you. And then I ended up buying the car from him just because after I learned, I was like, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool, man. If you could go back and tell yourself one piece of advice with what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Save all the money, man.
Really?
Save a lot more money. I mean, I know the struggles are what makes somebody. But back then it was just, you're young, you start getting your first check and it's just spend.
Everybody wants to go clubbing every weekend.
Everybody wants to go clubbing or the car stuff. You could have cut back a little bit here and there and you could make a lot more investments earlier.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what kind of car you currently drive? I know you have multiple cars. What are...
Yeah, so I have my R35 and then I have an F80 M3.
Nice.
And a IS 350 Lexus, the F Sport. And I used to have my Civic, that was my pride and joy, but I finally let it go. I couldn't stand to see it in the garage and not getting driven. And
I actually went through your Instagram and looked and I was like, man, how many freaking cars does Emir freaking has? God dang it.
it's a bad but good habit because there's a lot worse habits out there.
Yeah,
definitely. And luckily my wife's been super supportive. She met me this way. She met me in the Civic when the Civic was fully stock.
Right.
And she's been supportive, and that's a big thing of who I am and who I became. Was just the support system, man. Like, she's awesome. She, a lot of people have significant others that don't really follow the passion. Like, I got a lot of friends that are just, no, it's just me, she doesn't want to go. She's not really into that stuff. And luckily my wife, she, from the get-go, she already knew.
Or at least, like, your significant other, like, will be like, I don't know anything about it, but I'd love to learn just because you love it.
And that's how she is. Like, she doesn't know anything specific. She'll point out certain cars here and there. Like, the coolest thing is just riding somewhere. She'll be like, look at that. Yeah. Even though she don't know what it is, she knows it's going to pique my interest, and she'll, so.
I got my wife to actually, she'll be like, oh, look, the car's on bags. And I was like, shit,
it'd be surprising, man. It'd be surprising. Yeah, it's surprising.
Paying attention.
Yep. So that's always fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what future plans do you have for, like, any other cars that you have right now?
Right now, man, honestly, I'm kind of at a point to where I'm satisfied where I'm at. The F80's getting some work done. Nothing crazy. Just getting it back to normal because I had a little mishap with the motor. But GTR, man, that's my pride and joy, and I'm pretty satisfied where it's at. So I'm not really sure. Most of y'all seen the wrap situation.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty bad.
But power-wise, I'm still on the edge of more. As it's so, bro, the GTR just has so much potential. But to me, it's just, it doesn't matter how much you put into it. Somebody's always going to be a step above you or multiple steps.
Yeah, I always say just as fast as deep as your pockets.
Yep. And I've actually reached my goal in that car. I wanted it to be a low 10-second car, and I've actually achieved that. And I'm pretty satisfied. Cool. Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Have you built the transmission on it and everything?
Yeah, the trans is built on that car.
So is it still stock turbos?
Still stock turbos. A lot of people don't believe that. Still stock turbos.
So, I mean, with the build, people don't understand though, when it comes to like a build transmission, it's just like having a really peppy, good, like let's say twin or triple disc clutch that the car grabs no matter what you throw at it.
Yeah, so that's what I like when I'm doing with my cars. Like any car I touch, I just want it to be functional and just, it works every time.
Yeah, it always sucks when I see like people take a good car and they try to like extremely, like bro, you don't have to gut your car to go fast.
Yep.
Like literally, okay, maybe you take out 50 pounds. If you bracket racing and that's all you do, that makes a difference. Bro, when you street your car and you take everything out of it, you're looking goofy.
Yeah, so I actually ended up buying a seat, the driver's seat. It's a bucket carbon fiber seat. I got it from my buddy Sean, Slow JK. Shout out to him. But I just did it just for the looks. It wasn't really to try to get an advantage.
See, but that's aesthetically pleasing though. I mean, like when you take out everything, like I'm gonna call myself out. Like I've done it. So my 350Z didn't even have window motors, but the car was stupid light, and it had like 450 horsepower with a supercharger. So I mean, it was a quick car.
Quick.
It weighed like 2,650, 2,700 pounds with a full tank of gas. Yeah. So that shit was freaking fast. But then when I got this one, I was like, bro, I am not touching anything. If I do, it's just like aesthetically pleasing to make it to where I want it to look like inside.
And I I hate to see it, but you know, a lot of guys get a good car and they get it to like where it's working and it's working good, and then we just get into the habit of, well, let me do this, and then it starts going south quick.
Yeah,
and that's where I don't want to be at. Like a lot of GTR guys, you know, they go ahead and upgrade the turbos, and some of them have a blast with it, nothing goes wrong, but some of them have issues.
They have a hard time.
And
so how much is a motor for a GTR? Do you know?
I think I've seen them for like anywhere from 10 to like 15, 16.
You're talking about a used motor?
Used motor. Yeah, built motor, it might be in that range, but that might be like a stage 1, and yours better not have like a hole in it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like to rebuild it and get the stuff done to it. But
so
yeah.
What about the trans? Do you just buy like a brand new trans and go get it built, or you send yours out?
Send yours out. Most of the time, a lot of guys send theirs out. And it'd be cool just to have the spare trans, but that'd be like doubling the bill.
Yeah.
So
how much is a trans though? Just let's say you go to Nissan and be like, bro, I need a new trans.
I didn't even go through Nissan, man. We went to aftermarket stuff, and I probably spent about, with labor and everything, probably like 15.
15?
And that's only like a stage 2.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of stages.
I mean, by the sounds of it, yeah. That's
there's a lot of stages.
Crazy.
Yeah, so the GTRs are not cheap, but they're really fun cars, and there's a lot of potential.
Yeah. So is this like your forever dream car, or is there anything else that you aspire to get?
I have to get the R34.
The R34?
I would trade that R35 plus cash for a good R34.
No way,
Yeah.
really? That's impressive. That's cool. I just asked you the question. I just reread it. What's your favorite memory about any of your cars?
It has to be getting the GTR, period, because it's just a goal that I always strived for before I had any type of quick car. Like it was just, that was the goal, and once you reach that goal, like when it's really a dream car, like bro, it just hits different. Like I remember it didn't hit until the day after when I was driving it to work. Like I legit shed like a tear of joy driving to work. Because I couldn't believe, like, I'm just staring at the steering wheel and it says GTR.
Bro, that's freaking awesome, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm sure
like
that's
a lot of
cool
people
feeling.
are super excited to get a new car, you know, but when it's something you really, really want, and you think, I'm never going to get that car. Because, you know, a lot of people don't drive a GTR.
Right.
Yeah, so when you get it and that's something that you really want, it just hits different, man.
I felt that yesterday when I got the car done. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm nervous, excited, and everything. My hands were like shaking when
that's how it is.
I was like,
that's how it is, man. On the way to work, I'll never forget that feeling, and I just it was amazing, man. Like it just really, I don't know. It was just amazing. It's an amazing feeling that I hope a lot of people can achieve one day, because it's wild.
I'm saying, like you mentioned earlier, you know, like if you keep working hard and I guess towards a goal, you should be able to achieve it.
Absolutely.
Just got to be smart about it.
Absolutely, man. And a lot of people, like you said, spend just their money on club stuff or fun things. And, you know, a lot of people say money isn't everything, and it's not. But you really have to just, if you want to get something you really want, you got to just settle down and just really work on your finances, because you don't have to be super rich to be living good.
Yeah, and having, like, we didn't come up from freaking rich parents.
Nothing, bro.
So
nothing.
we had we immigrants. you know, we came
as
from
Hispanics, man. I mean, it was a struggle growing up, and we didn't have it like that. And a lot of people see me now and that I got this, and this, but it wasn't always like that.
Same. A lot of people was like, must be nice. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you don't know the struggle we went through growing up.
Exactly, man. If you didn't have to look in the cereal to make sure there were no roaches in it, you don't know.
Yeah. Shit, especially coming, you know, from New York and shit like that. That's where I grew up. It was tough, man.
I can imagine. I only hear the stories, but I can imagine.
Now I go up there and to visit is beautiful. Like, especially now in the winter, you know, like go see the, like Rockefeller Center, all the lights and everything is pretty. Yeah,
I went years ago before I even met my wife. And it was a good experience, man, but I couldn't live down there.
Yeah. I tell people, like, okay, a lot of people go to, like, do touristy stuff. But if you go with somebody that's from there, then you get to see all the parts, like, you know, obviously I know how to take all the subway and all this other stuff, you know, so.
That was wild, taking the subway
everywhere. That is a different story, you know. I could take you anywhere where all the good food is and stuff like that.
That subway was a trip for sure, man.
Yeah.
You really have to take it everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Like, I had a 300ZX was my first car, a 1994 300ZX. I moved down here because I couldn't drive the car. My sister was already living down here, so I parked it one day and somebody backed up and cracked my bumper in half. And my mom called me. She was like, "Did you get into a wreck?" I was like, "What?" I was so nervous. I was like, "What are you talking about?" No. She sent me a picture. My bumper was like completely cracked in half because it was fiberglass.
So that's one thing I did see when I was out there.
I was like, what the?
Was a lot of the taxis and other cars, they had that bumper guard front and back. And I was like, I know what that's for.
Them people up there, like, you think people drive back here and aggressive.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, as that crosswalk goes to don't cross, they're taking it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on that crosswalk, you're getting hit. They don't care.
You playing, what's it called, Russian roulette with the cars? About to get
the taxi
up.
drivers do not play in New York.
Yeah. The craziest thing I seen, though, one day, like, you know how you see in movies, they'd be like, taxi. We did that. 2 cars, like, stopped 2 taxis. And they got out and started like fist fighting.
What?
To take us. And we was like, okay, we just walked away.
Yeah.
Because they were fighting to take the fare. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
So I always like to be kind of planned. So when I went there, you know, I was just like, let's just do everything kind of in a walking distance so we don't get in a situation where we need a taxi all the time.
Yeah, because it gets freaking expensive, especially Ubers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't remember how much it was back then. This was, I'm saying, years and years ago, man. Got off at the train station. And we had asked how much was a taxi from where we were at to the hotel. It was maybe a couple miles. And he said some crazy number, and I was like, whoa. I was like, we'll just walk.
Yeah.
I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, they, especially if you have to cross, let's say, from like the Bronx to Manhattan or Manhattan to Queens, they charge you for them freaking toll. Like, because you got to pay a toll to cross the bridge, which is crazy because you would think, like, yo, this is old New York. Why are you paying a toll just to cross the damn bridge? But
yeah, that's wild. So I didn't get into any situations like that. So.
Yeah, so they try to fuck you over and hit you over the head. So which car would you recommend somebody to get as a first car if they were just starting out and came nasty?
Depends. I'd honestly want to say just, I don't want to get my young guys out there in trouble. Most of you already do, especially with the BMWs. But that's a whole different car, man. A lot of guys are now going to like the 340s as a good starter car. Yeah. Or a lot of F80s if they got it like that. But for me, I would recommend a Civic or something. Like get your wheels. Yeah. Get your training wheels first, and then
learn how to change the tire.
Yeah, learn how to change the tire and start with the easy modifications before you jump high up there and you get yourself into a pickle.
Yeah, that's gonna be a question that I'm gonna ask you later that I thought of. So what keep you inspired in the car culture, everything going on?
Just the people that you meet, and just how everybody can just be from a different background, and just when you start chatting, man, and it's cool to just know somebody else and how they have the same passion for cars, and we could look totally different. Right. And have different views on life outside of cars, and just coming together for cars is pretty cool.
I agree. I think it's pretty neat. Even people with like language barriers, if you have the passion for cars, they'll be like, oh, HKS, good. They'll give you like a thumbs up or something, So like that, I think that's the coolest thing. Like honestly, I would have never met like none of my friends if it wasn't for cars. Same. So I owe cars like a lot because it's who I am and brought me like the people.
Same, and all my close friends now, are people I didn't know in school like that, or it's just mostly from cars. And we just one day we got thrown into UNCC meet and said pull up here. They do a car meet.
You used to go to, bro.
Oh, man, people don't even know, man. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people don't know you until you get a cool car. Yeah. Yeah, man. I used to be at my boy Tyler Lane. Shout out to Tyler. I won't forget it. I had a Hyundai Veloster. Not even the turbo
like the
model.
Little, like
the little shoebox looking car.
Yeah.
And, modded it out, put some wheels on it. It was a little low. But, that was the car back then. That's what I could afford. So one day he hit me up and he was like, hey man, I see you're doing stuff to your car. Why don't you come out to the UNCC meets? And I was like, what's that? Yeah. And that was when it was popping, dude.
I know. I used to go through them all the time.
That's when it was popping, man. And those were honestly some of the best times. And we just started getting a group together, and let's just ride out there, and it was chill. And that's every Sunday you knew that's what you were going to do.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? We might have probably just crossed paths at some point.
I'm sure.
Bro, it would be crazy to go back and like click to see somebody like just cross paths.
So sometimes it pops up on my feed when they did the mannequin challenge. Yeah. I don't know if you were there for that, but a lot of people were there for that.
I think I was.
And you can just see, and you can just like when they're going around, I'm just like, I know that guy now, or I know that guy now, and it's just like, what the heck?
Yeah, the kid Zach that was recording the video. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was crazy. That was a crazy.
And I met a lot of friends doing that, just getting people to, we're going to meet up here and ride out there. And then just relationships slowly started forming, I like to talk to people and come up to them and say what's up, especially when they pull up to an event. Yeah. And most of them stayed, man. We just stayed cool and pretty cool.
That's pretty neat, man. That's awesome. That's the only reason I love cars, just because of the people you meet and everything you get to do together.
And the resources you get sometimes too, man.
It is
like
unbelievable.
For help with something.
Yeah.
Just the idea, if something breaks, somebody's gonna know or give you a suggestion, because sometimes you're at a loss and you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes somebody be like, use a search bar, you know, like go online and look it up.
And sometimes it works, but sometimes, dude, like you're like, I already did that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you run into the person that you know, like, nah, let me take a look at it, and they'll be able to fix it or help you.
Yeah, that's a cool thing, you know, like I always say, knowledge is power. When people ask me stuff about, like, you know, Z's, I've had to learn myself, you know, but like if I could help you, I will. But I'm not gonna be like, all right, bro, you got to use a 10 millimeter, bro. You got to turn it like counterclockwise and take it off. You know, like I'll give you advice and then try to do it, at least put an effort into it. And then if you can and you get stuck again, then, you know, come back and ask for help.
So, same thing with that. And then just in life in general, man, a lot of people ask me, you know, how did you do it? Or how's this? And I'll give them pointers, and then it's up to them to take it. But, you know, I kind of stop helping that person when they just keep asking me the same question. I've already gave you the diagram, bro. Like, I've already gave you what to do, and you're not doing it.
Right.
So like, I can't help you anymore, man. Like, I'll just hit them back with a, come on, man, I already told you what to do.
Yeah. I'll be like, bro.
And how I did it, and then, you know, get you an idea to start going, but you're not listening, you know. Like, what's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right. That is true. That is true. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
So what's your car meet one-on-one for a person that's coming to like a car event for the first time? What do you recommend?
Just try not to judge people, especially because everybody doesn't have it like that, or everybody can't afford certain parts. You know, sometimes people do go off the wall, and you can't help it.
AutoZone special.
Yeah, super AutoZone special. But, you know, everybody's different, man. Everybody has their own taste, and who are we to judge them? I'm sure people judge my car all the time.
I'm the same way. It's just like, you know, how we see like what's it called? The Cartalk squat. And I'm like, we think that looks stupid. As fuck. But somebody will look at my car and be like, why the hell this guy got a big ass tire in his car? That looks stupid and goofy, you know? So
yeah, everybody has their own taste, and it's just, I don't know, just remember you're there all for the same thing. Yeah. Unless you're a street car takeover.
Then fuck you. Yeah. Can you name, do you name people, what the fuck? I can't talk, god damn it. Okay. Can you name a car mod that people think is cool, but it isn't?
If I had to say anything, maybe like a wing on a car, depending on the wing. Some people will put an outrageous wing on a car that has no business having an outrageous wing. Yeah. But if it's performance-wise, I don't really know, man. Maybe like super cambered out or something. Like, you know, just ruining the car like suspension.
Like negative degree, like camber, like
yeah. I like my stuff to work and be functional. Yeah. So to me, that doesn't do anything.
You think our car meets are getting boring nowadays?
Honestly, man, like it's definitely not what it used to be. And I like to go out to some of the meets that some of the guys want to go to, or, you know, certain friends want to go to. And it's just because I know that they're there. But I feel like it started to die down, and it's slowly picking back up, especially with certain groups out here. And, you know, everybody's starting to act accordingly. But other than that, man, I think we can definitely bring it up. It's not as big as it used to be, but I think if we I think we're on the right direction to just try to get it back.
You just got to pull out the last.
It's just enjoy the car meet, man. It's just enjoy the meet. It's a car meet. It's not out there to. Nobody said go do donuts or start doing freaking pools in the middle of the parking lot. Like, I bring my kids sometimes. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons that I don't want to bring them anymore, because some people just don't know how to act, man. Like, they'll put it on the flyer, no hooning, no revving. And unfortunately, the people that post it don't enforce it. Right. But I used to do car meets myself, and I'd always have my people out there like, you're revving out loud or you're doing something dumb, we're going to call you out on there and tell you to leave or chill out. Yeah. And also, not even that, like, I get that people like to play the loud music. But, bro, if you hear everybody like on the same noise level, right? Don't come out, take out your chuchero, put it on top of your fucking car. Gosh, bro. And blast some, like, I don't know, Zacaria Ferreira, some, like, dude, like really depressing Spanish music. And you're like, what was that last car meet in Harrisburg? Who was it? Street Scene? Yeah. Street Scene was out there, and they had their DJ and everything, and then some dudes just pulled up and parked, like, on both sides, man. And they were all playing different stuff. Oh,
and
dude,
like,
it was so annoying, dude.
And then like, you're like, bro, it's not my car, me, so I don't want to go. And I don't want to be that guy and be like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, bro. Like it was annoying, bro. Like we were just sitting there.
Everybody else is thinking it, but then nowadays, so every little kid somehow has like a weapon. You don't want to tell somebody the wrong thing, and then they
don't even care,
and just shoot you for no damn
for nothing,
reason.
man. Just to tell them to be quiet.
So that's
like
why
I said,
sometimes
if it's not my event, I let whoever was in charge kind of handle it. Obviously, if it gets outrageous, we just kind of leave.
Yeah, that's the same, man. I am. That's why. There's a other good question now. Like, do you prefer morning meets or night meets?
Depends on the weather.
That was a good answer. I
Depends
was
on
not
the weather,
expecting
man. When it's spring and summertime, I'll do both. But right now that it's cold, I'm sorry guys, but don't ask me to go out at night.
Yeah, nah, it's just
it's too
way
cold,
too
man.
freaking
And everybody's like, "But it's boost weather." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll sit at home and watch TV with the kids and the family, and
yeah,
I'll be nice and cozy at home."
What do you think is the biggest disadvantage of being a car enthusiast nowadays?
Being, I guess, patrolled a lot by the police.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Like, they see a lot of stuff going on, and they'll probably just look at your car depending on what you drive, and they'll automatically assume you'll do something stupid here and there, and they'll follow you.
Yeah.
They'll follow you for a good bit. I've had that happen a couple times, and it's just, if they really are like that, bro, they're just for the window tint or something dumb, and then look up your record.
I got pulled over for that the other day.
See?
Like so I got South Carolina plates. No inspections are needed down here, so obviously tint doesn't matter. I was coming back down from work from Charlotte. I was doing like 70 speed limit on 485, driving behind the truck. This dude just swings out, and as soon as he like sped up when I passed him, because he was parked on the shoulder, I was like, bro, I'm on cruise control. I was like, there's no way this guy's coming for me. He cut through all the cars and came in, whoop, whoop, pulled me over, and I was like,
what could it be?
I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, there's no way. And then he told me, he was like, you know why I pulled you over? I was like, honestly, I have no idea. And he was like, I pulled you over for your tint. And I was like, sir, I got South Carolina plates. He was like, you're not allowed to drive in North Carolina with tints.
What?
I said, what? I was like, look, man, I'm just getting off work. I work up here. My car's registered. So, I got, everything is good. He was like, well, let me get your license and registration, and I'll come right back. And he just wanted to run my, check my stuff.
They just want to run your stuff, just what I just said, just based on your car, man.
And I was like, yo, what? That was a first. I never got pulled over for that.
Yeah.
And I had like tints my whole entire life, but never got pulled over for tints.
Yeah, man, they just be profiling us for sure. And that doesn't mean be a dick to them either whenever you do get caught doing something stupid, because at the end of the day, you knew what you did.
For more inspiring content, follow What's Your Drive on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, comment, or share. And now, back to the video.
What's your opinion on everybody trying to be like Instagram famous and stuff like that?
It's cool, man. It's just for the likes, but I feel like if you're really trying to make a business out of it, or get something out of it, then you should definitely keep doing it. It's cool just to know you created something and people like it. And, it just kind of gets addicting sometimes, as I'll be, I'll be posting reel after reel after reel, or the picture.
I feel like you need to though. Like if the algorithm doesn't what's it called? Like support you if you don't. Like if you stop posting.
Yeah, and it's just random too, guys. Like it's just, don't expect just like you can have like 10 videos and none of them hit, and all of a sudden the 10th or the 11th or 12th might hit.
Bro, so I got a video, right? It's with Peter Griffin. He's like rapping, and I just put like half of Peter Griffin rapping under it, and then my car just driving like on the highway. Stupid has gone viral, bro. It's like so annoying. And
then the captions too sometimes. The captions, especially like on one of my reels, if you guys go on my page, it was the first one that went viral was when I raced the GTR stock at Streetcar Takeover in Charlotte, and it versus a K24 single turbo Civic. It's badass. And he got me top end. That was definitely not his class. Like he missed a gear and he still came back and pulled me, and I was all the way in.
He was sandbagging?
Super sandbagging, dude. But
what
anyway,
color was
it was red.
It was red. Okay.
I don't remember where he's from. He commented on there too. He's somewhere on there, but Just I put when you buy a GTR, just to get beat by a Civic, bro. That video I think it's like at 1.3 mil.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
That's
it's just
funny.
the caption sometimes, man. Like even though it could be something else. If you caption it right or you say something funny or stupid to catch people's attention, that usually blows up.
Yeah. So sometimes, like at first, like I'll comment, you know, but then once it just gets out of hand and people are liking and comment, I'll just leave it alone. I was like, yeah,
So
yeah,
I had another
argue.
video like that too. When it was just a short clip of at Mooresville Dragway, just racing a random 5.0 for a random event, and literally all I put was proof that Mustangs are loud for no reason, bro. That's how it started. Just it's a GTR, it's this and that, and then people just start arguing with each other, and then I just let it eat.
You're like, all right, bro.
I let it eat. I let it eat. Even Dan Rue commented on that one or something. Yeah,
Shut up, really?
Yeah, it's on there, man. I showed a couple of the guys.
Bro, that's freaking
Yeah,
funny.
people just start arguing with themselves, and it's just funny, man. And some of the numbers that people throw out about a GTR, man. Like I said, you don't have to be super rich to get a GTR. You know, obviously they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive. And it's just some of the numbers that people say, man. Like it's a $150,000 car, which is new, I guess, or a Nismo or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I didn't buy this for $150,000.
Like I was like, bro, if you get like a 09 when they first came out, you could get a good one for like 50 bands.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. And there's a couple of deals now on some 09s too, and they already got the stuff that you need. Like the trans is done, and you know they're full bolt on. And I think I just saw one either this morning or last night. It was on there for like 50.
Yeah, as long as whoever you're buying it for has like the proper documentation that the shit was done.
Yeah, that's what you want, man.
That's a big plus.
And I've always been scared to buy somebody else's build.
Yes, bro. That's
Because in my
always a scary
mind, bro,
feeling.
I'm super sketch, man. Like in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Are
why
you
did
trying to
you
get one
throw
on
this
me?
money into this car and made it this fast, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't want it anymore.
You're like, give me 20 grand, it's yours. You're like, bro, the fucking trans costs 15. What you mean?
So I mean, some people have had luck, some people have learned the hard way, and sadly, you know, the hard way is tough sometimes. You spend that amount of money on a car, and I've heard people lasted maybe a week and it broke.
That's scary. That's
Super
a scary.
scary.
You get a lemon.
Imagine,
That's the
man.
worst, bro.
Not only that, like it's broke, and maybe you had to take out a loan for something like that, something super expensive like that, and for it to break a week in.
So, like when I was building my car, obviously, I put a lot of money into my Z. Like I had the money to get a GTR, but I didn't have the job to support it.
Right.
So I was like, I wanted to drive manual, but like I could support this versus like that. I was like, maybe later on down the line, I'll get the chance to get another one.
So I was sketched too, man. Obviously, when it was a GTR, it was, you know, I didn't care anymore, but I've always wanted to stick to a manual car. It's just
really?
The experience is different.
Yeah,
like, it's nothing like
so
driving a manual. A lot of people don't know that, you know, just because I got these other two, the F80 and the GTR, they're like, probably can't drive stick. I'm like, dude, I used to gap people in that Civic I used to have. That's stick shift.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was stick shift, and I didn't want to stray away from it, but once you get to a certain power level, you don't even care anymore.
Yeah. So yesterday I had the chance to finally drive a Q50. My boy has one, and it was modified, and I was like, this is some fucking bullshit. This is how fucking easy it is. You just got there paddle shifting, don't have to worry about the damn clutch.
Get it in the right gear and just floor it.
Bro, what the fuck?
Some people are like, oh yeah, but that's easy. That's not real driving. I'm like, dude, when you get something like this, you don't care.
So I've talked to like you know, Luke with his GTR. So like he compared to what I have to like a, you know, almost 1,000 horsepower GTR just because of the build level of my car compared to like what a GTR level is. And some people that think that have GTRs, they like try to downplay what my car is, and I was like, bro, think about I'm making the same amount of horsepower or more than you are, and I'm in a manual rear-wheel drive. Put that into perspective.
That's also tough too. So that's also tough. Like, yeah, I credit to the guys that do stick shift class and stuff like that, and the fast events too, or have a fast car like you do. Because yeah, that's tough, dude. Like that's driving. You have to know how to drive that car for sure.
That's what I tell people, because I drive my car on the Mickeys every time, like every day. So it's like, I know what my car is gonna do. So like when we're going around turns and you see me whoop around the turn like fast as fuck, it's because I know what the tire feels like when it starts rolling. And other, because I daily.
You know your car, yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of people that crash their cars is like they take it out on the weekend. Like, bro, you have no idea what the fuck your car is gonna do. You never been in that situation.
Yeah, so that's why I tell people, man. Like especially the young guys, don't get some. I know if you can get something fast, I would recommend don't do it until you have a good understanding that like a fast car is dangerous.
Yes.
You have to respect the power on a fast car.
And fucking respect the wet roads, bro.
Oh my god. Can't tell you the amount of people that just fly by me, especially like if a rain happens to catch me on the GTR. You still got those idiots just they're trying to race me while it's raining.
I've had that happen so many, and I'm like, bro, I'm on a fucking radio. What are you like? The fastest I'm going, bro, is below the speed limit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude. On
that's as fast as I'm going. I'm chilling.
It's not that fun in rain either.
Yeah. So I like the Toyo R888s. The only thing I don't like about them, they're super loud.
Yeah.
And because I could still slide the car around, bro, I wasted a set of tires in like 3 weeks. And they're $1,000 a pair.
Oh, I know.
So
I'm on my second pair, like all 4. Yeah, it's not cheap, but they are really noisy. But for what I was doing, still a street tire, and I was still able to get some numbers down the track, and it's fun. It was more conventional for me, but now that I've achieved that goal where I wanted to be, I'll probably swap them out and get something more practical.
Just so you can enjoy the car and not worry about the rain.
Oh my gosh, these tires are they're not cheap, dude.
These actually, they're not that bad. The Mickey Thompsons. A lot
of people have told me about them too, that I should switch over.
Yeah. These last me a year. Well, and obviously my car, will do more of a burnout than yours will. So yours will last a lot longer.
And I don't drive it every day either.
Yeah,
I'm sure you might not either. But yeah, a lot of people, they're like, dang, those tires go quick. I'm like, yeah, but usually a weekend driver now.
Yeah.
Especially
you got multiple cars. Eventually, I will have multiple cars. So
it's a good thing too, man. Cause,
that would be great, not to have to daily it. So now we're gonna do something I call like a little game round. I'm gonna give you 2 choices. You got 3 seconds to answer, and then you could give your opinion on why you picked that one.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Toyota Supra or R34 GTR?
R34.
Obviously, I knew that was coming because
the GTR.
Said, yeah, the GTR. So function or form?
Function.
Function?
Yo, function all the way, man. The car has to work.
Yeah.
It has to work, and I like it to be consistent.
So would you rather be house poor or car poor?
House poor for sure.
House poor?
Can't race the house.
Yeah. Do you like stretch tires or meaty fitment?
Meaty fitment.
Meaty fitment?
Yeah.
Well, now there's some here that I probably know the answer to. Road racing or like track, like circuit?
Dig racing.
Dig racing?
Dig racing. Add that option, man.
Obviously, there's one here that I was turbo supercharger, but all your cars been turbo.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All my cars have been a turbo. I've never had an experience with a supercharged car.
Have you ridden in one?
I don't think I have, dude. Now that I think about it, all the people I know too, I think they've all been
turbo cars.
Turbo cars.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I've had friends with supercharged cars. I've never ridden in one.
You need to ride in this. It's the different.
Yeah, I've heard it's different. It's just instant.
Yeah. So like my car will feel almost like a supercharged car. Like the harder like I get on the throttle, the harder that motherfucker.
It'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So yeah, turbos.
That's pretty cool. Let's go to the other section. Let me see what it is. What is your opinion on people that be complaining in the car community? Like, you know how parents are walled off and they use like mommy and daddy's money to build the cars?
So I'm glad you brought that up because I tell a lot of people now, the older I am, the more I understand. And there's nothing wrong with that, honestly, man. If you got the resources, use them.
Right.
And my kids hopefully will honestly probably be mommy and daddy's money, especially with the cars that I have. I'll probably pass them down on my kids. And yeah, the more I see that back then, man, like I used to be like that too, just because I didn't have it like that. And I was just like, well, your parents probably did that. But I don't really see that as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's kind of cool that you have that resource or that ability. Obviously, if you're showing out, people are going to have a whole different opinion on you. Like if you're sitting there literally claiming that you did it.
Yeah, like self-made.
Self-made, yeah, that's a whole different story. But as far as like, trying to, if I feel like if you're humble about it, yeah, my pops gave me this or I got this car like that. I don't think you'll be judged as much as you claiming that you did it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen a lot of kids that take like, let's say when your kid is old and he just happened to take your GTR out to a car and you're like, oh, it's my GTR, and then somebody goes and does all the
research, and it's
somebody's gonna do the damn research, and they'll be like, oh, it's his dad's car. And
yeah, that's something everybody's different, but yeah, that's something that wouldn't be for me.
Yeah, I hear you. So I know you had like that experience with the rats, but what is your take on exposing shops online and stuff like that do bad work?
I feel like it just really depends on the situation. I always like to give people an opportunity to fix their mistakes, and some people are like super quick with the trigger to just go ahead and bash them, and it could have been something simple. Maybe the shop just missed the mark. It is what it is. But sometimes, most of the time, a lot of people will try to correct their mistakes, but some people aren't like that. They're like, I already paid you. It should have been right the first time, which it should have been because you're a paying customer. But
right.
I feel like I'm a humble person. Is just let you try to fix it first before I start blasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then that, unfortunately, with the wrap, that was the situation. I know, no hard feelings to my guy because we've been boys for a minute, and I knew he was new. So that's why a lot of people are like, why don't you this, and this? I'm like, dude, like he told me he was new. I knew he was new. He had a couple under cars on his belt, but the only thing that got me was that I asked him multiple times, you good, you got this, because this car goes everywhere. He's like, yeah, but the quality wasn't there. I couldn't ride around the GTR like that.
Right, especially everybody knows your car and knows who you are.
Yeah, and the nitpicking, I can only imagine, bro. Because if I could see it, I know a lot of others, and I'd ride around with Luke and them. His car is wrapped as well, and his car is beautiful, and they did a great job with that car. And imagine me parking next to him, and he's like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah. Because some of the people, they love freaking comparing.
Oh, absolutely.
All the time, they like compare.
It's always a dick swinging contest sometimes.
Since you drive, obviously Nissan and GTR and a BMW, which one is like your favorite? Because I know a lot of people die hard either BMW.
You'd be surprised on
die hard
how many times
like
people
Nissan.
ask me this question because I have both cars, and they're just two different. They're just two separate things, man. They're both great cars, and people are like, "Well, which one do you prefer?" Obviously, favorite of the GTR is the GTR. It's made more for what I want to do.
Right.
But the BMW, dude, it's there as well. You got the luxury, you got the comfort, and you got the power.
Right.
Because that GTR, that suspension is stiff.
Yeah.
You get over bumps.
You're like, my neck is gonna come off.
Yeah. And with the BMW, they're just two different things, man. And either one is great.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The BMWs are no jokes. The M cars, even the 340s, the B58s. I can't leave those out because.
So like, what engine comes in the F80?
S55.
S55.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. I mean, just downpipes in a simple tune 500.
Can't beat that for the freaking money.
No, not for the money.
As long as you could get the car downpipe in the tune,
and that's all you need. Great. And that's plenty of power.
A lot of people they don't realize what 500 horsepower really is. They don't put like respect on it. They think you need to have like 700, 800, 900 horsepower.
Most of the people, like you said, that they probably haven't even touched that number.
Yeah.
Or they're way above that number.
Right.
And that's where that comes into. But for daily street driving, that's plenty of power for a car, dude. Like, that's more than enough for a lot of stuff that just rides around.
Like I drive my car on wastegate all the time, and it's more than enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I race, like run people all the time. I never, only if I'm racing like Luke and them or something, I'll switch. I'll just
turn it up.
Yeah, but like other than that, like anybody else, I'll race on wastegate.
That's what I'm saying.
I find it like it's more fun to be like neck to neck than to me. Like if I take off and leave you, and I'm like,
that's another thing too. Like a lot of people will try to race me because they know I like to run. And most of the time, I usually post my times. If you go on my page, you'll see multiple time clips and everything. So a lot of people call me out, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't want to race for money." I'm like, "Dude, you're calling me out for a reason, right?"
Right.
Like it's not like it used to be anymore, where it's just like, I kind of know what you got, and you don't know what I have. So let's just see what happens. Now people are nitpicky, bro. Like they'll just be like, "I know I can beat his car, so I'm gonna see if I can bait him."
So yeah, I had an experience like this with a BMW recently. Like I went to a car meet. I was just I never go out to car like the nice shit that they do here. So I went out, to do the road thing, from bridge to bridge, and I was with one of our friends, and he brought a car, and nobody was doing nothing, and I was like, bro, let's just go fucking run it, just for fun, to get everybody like rolling and doing whatever. Yeah, so we went and did a couple hits. And when we got back, this guy was like, "Oh, bro, I brought my Beamer out so we could." So I'm testing it. You want to run for money?
You're testing what you want to run for money, right?
Bro, I wanted to laugh so hard. I was like, "Bro, I'll run you for fun, bro. I don't care, bro.
That's how
I'm just here to have some fun and enjoy my car." If I lose, I lose. If I find the limitations,
that's
or
how
something.
I am, man. Like, and you know, shout out to my grudge racers out there, but you know how you guys are.
Yeah.
You know how you guys are, and it's
And
for me, man. Like I get my adrenaline from that, like not knowing.
Right.
From not knowing and see what it does.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens. But most of the people know the car and they know what it is, and they try to get you.
So I ended up losing because of the fuel pump. I had fuel cut. I was maxing out my fuel pump. But until then, I couldn't rev out fourth gear. So like if my car cut at like 6,500 RPM, I still had another 1,000 RPM to go. So it was like, it just cut me and I had nowhere to go. And I was like, all right, bro, a loss is a loss, you know? So good sportsmanship. I went over there. I was like, "Yo, good race. That was dope. That was awesome."
No, all the time.
You know, like they got startled because you know how people like to hover in front of the car. People bet money on the side, so they were like putting money out, writing on the hood, and I was like, "You fucking clowns!" I was like, "Bro, you begged me to race you, and then you bet money with some other people, and then you over here trying to write on your hood like
that's why, man.
Dead or whatever." And I was like,
I'd rather just have a good run, and even if I take a L, like it was for fun.
Like,
because when money gets involved, bro, like I'm picky with my money.
Yes, I feel shit. I work hard for mine. So
I work hard for mine. If I'm gonna, give it to somebody that knows I'm about to get gapped for no reason, it's not worth it to me. Like that's money you're taking away from my kids.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. So I don't really like to run for money. I'll run for fun all day long. All day long. If you say I can make 1,000, but we can run for fun and see what it does, I'll pull up.
Be like, all right, bro, let's do it.
Let's see what it does.
You know, one thing that I always tell people, they're like, oh, come here and race. And I'm like, one, I spent too much money on my car to get taken away, and I can't lose my license. I was like, if we happen to be going the same way, I'll do a hit or two.
That's kind of where I'm at too at this point, man.
Because like people know you have like a certain amount of horsepower, and they just want to keep calling you out. And I'm like, bro, I was like, first of all, when have you seen me outside racing like that?
Right.
Like to be like,
to be a random run.
Yeah, like just like if we go to, I raced like this. I raced Luke. I race Sean, the same fucking people all the time that we with. I don't try to like go around and try to do stupid shit with people that I don't know.
The older I'm getting, the more I'm into that. Like I tell my wife I try to chill out because it was getting out of hand, and I have a couple tickets, and in the past I have lost my license, so that was tough, and I don't like going down that road. The older I get, the more sense is starting to get into me.
Yeah.
But you still randomly pull up to somebody on the way home and they downshift, and I'm like, dang. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, that's always hard. It's always hard. Like I always have to like pick and choose. Like fuck. Like
me too. I do pick and choose as well, especially in that thing, because I'm not gonna freaking waste my gas on something that like I absolutely know that I'm about to destroy.
Bro, it's so funny. We think the same way, bro.
Does.
Yeah. Some people hear the turbo when I'm driving and they'll be like, "Oh, let me try to race this guy." And if I know it's not a car that's really gonna give me a challenge, I just don't fucking even waste my time. Or if you try to start doing this shit through traffic,
I stop immediately.
I'm like,
I get those a lot, and they don't know when to let off. Yeah, man, I let off a long time ago. You go ahead, you take that.
Unless you really get on my nerves, then that other side of me comes out, and then I'll show them. I'll give you what you wanted. Yeah, I'm like, all right, bro. You're about to put some respect on this car right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, God damn, like, bro, just leave me alone. Like the highway is empty. Keep about your business. And a lot of people, like, sometimes I'll drive, like, quick, like, going somewhere.
Right.
I'm not trying to race you. Or, like, there'll be a car on the highway, and I'm already coming, like 80 or something, just cruising. And then this car will start speeding up, thinking I'm trying to catch up to it. And I'm like, bro.
And I can't stand the ones where you do race, and they want to go when the traffic's right in front of you, and then their lane happens to be further out, and you got to hit the brakes.
Right.
It's like, bro. And then they just keep taking off on you. I'm like, whatever, man.
I just leave them alone. But then when the road opens up, I'll bully the fuck out of them.
All day long.
I'll get behind them, and then they'll try to take off, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to push your car out the way if you don't fucking move.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, bro, time went by pretty freaking quick.
That's what happens when you're having fun.
That's crazy. I want to, take the time to thank you and for coming on. Where can people find you on social media?
Just IG R35_Emir. I follow back.
I'm surprised you haven't made like a YouTube channel because you're always posting some cool
I
stuff.
actually do have a YouTube channel that I don't promote a lot. Like there's a couple of race videos on there, like from the old days too, when I had the slow cars. So
Really?
yeah,
You should start posting like all your reels. Start putting them on YouTube. It might kick off really fast.
I have done a couple of shorts like maybe months ago, and yeah, man, they would get a couple views here and there, and I just haven't kept up with it. But
yeah, that'll be. I'll definitely link that, and I'll link your like Instagram. You got TikTok too, right?
Yeah, I do.
So I'll put all your social media down in the link below, guys, so you could give him a follow and check out his car.
Yeah, I try to make good content for you guys, at least funny stuff. But you know, hopefully next spring we'll get back into going to the track, and hopefully we're getting random runs and seeing what it does.
That'd be cool. It would be nice if we get to line up a Street Car Takeover.
Oh man, hey, listen, I'm always down. Like I said, man, I'm always down. I'm not scared to find out to see what the car does or how your car does or anybody else's car. It's just for fun.
Yeah, it's always for fun, guys. But thank you everybody for watching. Please share with your friends and family. Until the next one.